वेलकम फ्रेंड्स। चलिए आज स्टार्ट करते हैं। एक नया टॉपिक जीएसटी में है और काफी इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है, कई लोगों को टच करता है डायरेक्टली और इनडायरेक्टली। और ये प्रोविजन है पेमेंट विद इन 180 डेज टू सर्वाइव द इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट। So welcome friends to my YouTube channel. I'm Vinod Kaushik and now we are starting the discussion on a very critical topic under GST, that is section 16 subsection 2 and its proviso along with rule 37. So we will keep our discussion very short and to the point so that we can understand the implications of this critical provision, that is 16.2 and its proviso and rule number 37. So I will take you to section 16 subsection 2. As on the screen you can see, the second proviso says that provided further that if a recipient fails to pay to the supplier of goods or services or both, other than supplies on which taxes payable on reverse charge basis, the amount towards the value of supply along with tax payable thereon within a period of 180 days from the date of issue of invoice by the supplier, an amount equal to the input tax credit availed by the recipient shall be paid by him along with interest under section 50 in such manner as may be prescribed. Very, very important. 16.2 basically prescribes certain conditions for claiming input tax credit. You have to have an invoice, you have to make the payment, your supplier has to make payment to the government, the goods are actually received. 16.2 AA says that the invoice must reflect in GSTR 2B. So these are a few conditions. And after those conditions, friends, this is the second proviso. First proviso is talking about something else, and the second proviso is basically hitting the key aspect of the business transactions, wherein it is saying that suppose you have received an invoice on a particular date. Say you have received an invoice on, say, today we are shooting on 30th of August 2023. So suppose you have received this invoice on 30th of August 2023. So as per 16.2 second proviso, the payment of this invoice has to be made within 180 days. So effectively it is saying that you are given a 6 months time, and it's not months, just for the reference for simplicity, it is basically 180 days. So you have to make the payment within 180 days to basically survive the claim of input tax credit. And in case of any contingency, if the payment is not made within 180 days, the act says, the provision says that you have to make the payment. Yani it says that the input tax credit already availed shall be paid by him along with interest under section 50. So this basically, you can say the italics part is basically amended with effect from 1st of October 2023. That is a future date, but this amendment is enforceable from 1st of October 2023. And before this amendment, there was some ambiguity in the provision. It was saying that added to his output tax liability along with interest. So it was saying that the input tax credit which is already claimed shall be added to his output tax liability. So ITC we claim in GSTR 3B, and the moment we have to pay it back, it will be added to the output tax liability. So it was giving some confusion that how ITC shall be added to the output liability. It has to be reversed. Either it has to be paid through electronic credit ledger or electronic cash ledger. So friends, this was 16.2 second proviso, which is suitably amended, and it is enforceable from 1st of October 2023. And the last important lines are in such manner as may be prescribed. In such manner as may be prescribed. So the prescription of this reversal, how the reversal shall be made, of which amount the reversal shall be made, shall be prescribed, and it has been prescribed under rule number 37. So let's move to rule number 37, friends. Rule number 37 is also amended, suitably amended from 1st of October 2022. And the heading of it says, reversal of input tax credit in case of non-payment of consideration. Before amendment, we will also discuss, and what is the position now, we will also discuss. So now the provision is clearly saying that a registered person who has availed input tax credit accept on RCM basis but fails to pay towards the value of such supply wholly or partially, whether wholly or partially, along with tax payable thereon within the time limit prescribed under 16(2) second proviso, that is 180 days, shall pay or reverse an amount equal to the ITC availed on such supply proportionate to the amount not paid to the supplier along with interest under section 50, while furnishing the return in form 3B for the tax period immediately following the end 180 days from the date of issue of the invoice. So friends, let me summarize for you. Rule number 37 now saying, rule number 37 is saying that this invoice basically, change the example. Now suppose this date is 1st of April 2023. Assuming it gets due on 30th of September 2023, 180 days for simplicity. So if you have not paid this invoice within 180 days, the invoice value is say 1 lakh rupees plus GST 18,000. So the input tax credit of 18,000 which we have claimed in April 2023 return shall be paid or reversed in subsequent to the month in which the invoice is getting due. So in October's return, this 18,000 rupees shall be paid or it will be reversed under table number 4B column number 2. That 18,000 rupees shall be reversed. And in case suppose 50,000 rupees has been paid, then how much? 9,000 rupees shall be reversed in form number GSTR 3B. So the conclusion of this discussion is that now friends, with effect from 1st of October 2022, rule number 37 has been amended. The reference of GSTR 2 in rule number 37 has been removed. It is done away with. Now rule number 37 is crystal clear, and as per rule number 37, you have to reverse the input tax credit availed on the original invoice if payment is not made within 180 days. 16(2) second proviso, friends, also amended, but the date of enforcement is a future date, 1st of October 2023. But that is also made, you can say 37 and 16(2), the second proviso are synchronized. They are basically similarly worded so that confusion is basically removed. So now onward, we have to ensure that the payment of all the invoices is made within 180 days. We are not going to the other aspects, other commercial aspects. Suppose there is an agreement between some customers and the suppliers, and the due date of an invoice is suppose 1 year. So what will happen to that? These cases will suitably be tested by the honorable courts in times to come, and we will share all the updates with you. Thank you very much for sparing your time. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.